Hello my sweet reader friends, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new video and welcome to a new beautiful day. Lately I feel like I've been spending a lot of unnecessary time on my device. Yeah. And with that, I also tend to pick up my phone like every 10 minutes because I swear I get phantom notifications. Like I will constantly hear my phone going off or I'll like feel it vibrating and it won't be. So that's a problem. So with that said, I'm going to be throwing out my phone this week and reading a page for every single time I picked up my phone, which as you can see is a lot. But I also do work on my phone for both of the jobs that I'm currently doing. So it's a little bit justified, but I have been noticing that I've been like picking up and scrolling and just using my phone a lot more than I need to, and I really want to just detach and fill that time with the reading for this week. So in today's video, we are going to be reading a page for every single time I picked up my phone. I don't know what exactly I'm going to be reading because we all know that I'm a chronic mood reader, but I do have a small TBR for this video, and that is Recursion by Blake Crouch, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, and then Death at Morning House by Maureen Johnson. All three of these are on my Pumpkin Pages TBR, which is my fall readathon, and they are also on my fall TBR, so I would like to get these knocked out if I can and am in the mood for them. I am going to be starting with Recursion by Blake Crouch, and today is Monday, so last Monday on September 30th, I picked up my phone 124 times, so I have to read 124 pages of this book today. My worst day was last Friday, which was October 4th, and that was 161 times that I picked up my phone, so I have to read 161 pages this Friday. I have been trying to read at least 50 to 100 pages every day for the last week or two. Usually my goal is like at least 50 pages per day. So this is like double and tripling what my normal like daily reading is. But I am trying to increase my like average daily reading to like at least like 100 pages a day. But yes, we're going to be starting Recursion. I'm very excited because this has been on the last few months TBRs. It's also on my Pumpkin Pages Readathon TBR, and it's also on my fall TBR. I picked it in this month's TBR video, which was my blindly choosing my October reads, I think, video. Couple weeks ago. I don't know, my brain's all messed up right now. And I also just saw my friend Ian reading this in one of his recent videos, which if you haven't watched that yet, you should definitely go check it out. So I was like, it's just time. It's time. I just need to do it. I love doing challenges like this, but they do take a little bit more time than some of the other videos that I create, which, as I've said in some of my previous videos, I am transitioning into doing YouTube and content creation full time. So I will have like more time to do these types of things, and I can do them more frequently, which I'm very excited for. So with that, I've been really wanting to learn about more like creative ways to edit and learn better skills and styles for like video creation, which is where today's sponsor Skillshare has been really helpful for me. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and more. They also have learning paths which are curated sequential class collections to master a specific skill or competency. Right now I'm diving into this class on storytelling and like video editing to give me some helpful tips on how to improve my video quality and creativity. Skillshare has also announced some exciting improvements, including new class topics like creative careers and creative inspiration, which in my case is very helpful, the ability to find classes by software material, and smarter class categories. Skillshare not only has classes to help with careers, but it also is really great for like other hobbies that you have. I've taken some classes on there for like natural plant dyeing, some gardening stuff, and just other fun things that I'm interested in that I just want to learn more about, I guess. So there's definitely a good selection of things to choose from, and the more that we learn and can educate ourselves, the better. The first 500 people to click the link can receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start learning all the things to help you get to where you want to be, or just learn the things that you're very curious about, because if you're like me and are curious about everything in the world, Skillshare is a great place to start. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Now let's go get to reading our books. What in the world is going on? This book is giving me Stranger Things vibes, like when Elle goes into that like deprivation chamber thing. I just love Blake Crouch's writing. I love how like it's just so mind-bending. Like you literally question everything that is happening in your life at that moment. And I love it. I haven't quite hit my 124 pages. I'm on page 100 exactly. So far, I'm loving this. I'm eating this up. I honestly will probably read more than my 124 pages today because I'm just honestly really invested in the story. I did mark like where I needed to read every day, so I mean, the more the better. But I'm going to continue now, and I will either update you tonight or tomorrow when I start my next chunk of reading. Good morning, sweet friends. Last night I got to page, I think 160. Yeah, 160 in Recursion. I only needed to read 124 pages, but I got so sucked into this book that I had to keep going. I want to do a little bit more research into Blake Crouch's books because I feel like they all kind of have something in common, but done a little bit differently in each book. These truly are such fast-paced sci-fi thrillers because the whole entire time it's like very high stakes. Like there's very intense things that are at stake and very intense things that are happening, but also things that you don't fully understand at first. Like it's like literally like a puzzle. There's so many pieces and things that you're like slowly getting, and then once it finally all kind of comes together, it's literally like a jaw-dropping aha moment, and I love it so much. Truly nobody can bend my brain as well as Blake Crouch does. So far I'm really liking our characters. This book, I almost feel like it could be a little bit longer, which I don't normally say that about books, but for this one I just feel like it's kind of moving really quickly, but it's also not a bad thing. Like I'm fully understanding everything, well, for the most part, as much as I could fully understand very sciencey, brain-bending things. Like I'm understanding where the story's going, and I feel like I'm getting enough information to be like up to speed, I guess I would say. But yeah, it's definitely all happening like very fast. And this is one of those books where you look down and you realize you've already read 100 pages, but it doesn't feel like 100 pages. Like that's how fast it goes by. And this book is shorter, I believe. Yeah, it's about 330 pages-ish. So I'm about halfway through. Today is Tuesday. So last Tuesday I picked up my phone 78 times. So today I have to read at least 78 pages. But with the way that this book is going, I feel like I'm just going to finish this book today. I could do this challenge to where whatever extra pages I do read one day, I take off the next day's pages, but I don't want to do that. I want to see how much I can read in a week, but at least reading the amount of pages of times that I picked up my phone. I do have to work for a few hours with my day job, and then after that I'm going to pick this back up. Honestly, probably just binge read the entirety of the rest of it. It's truly just that good. And I have been craving more sci-fi after reading Project Hail Mary. And I've also been craving some brain bending, just something that makes me like think and makes me question reality. Friends. I am almost done with this book. I really wanted to just finish it last night, but I also had a lot of other like YouTube stuff that I had to get done, like some editing and some Patreon things, so I didn't get to finish it last night, but I did get most of the way through. Today is Wednesday, so I have to read 103 pages today. I left off on page 240 last night, and I'm now on 268, so I've read about roughly 30 pages today, and I have about another 50 left of this book until it's done. So there's about like 80 pages of my 103, and then after that I think I'm going to start the 7-year slip. So I'm gonna finish out the rest of this book, give my final thoughts, and then start the 7-year slip. I just finished this book, and to be honest, I'm not exactly sure how to rate it. I think I'm gonna go with a 4-star. I really enjoyed this book. It was very fast paced. It was very brain bending. I really enjoyed the characters. For the most part, I could kind of follow like what was going on, but I will say the last like 25% of the book got like very repetitive. It was just like a lot to try and follow. Like it was almost too much to follow. I just feel like I started to lose interest a little bit. I don't know, like exactly how this book is. I feel like reading it, I was just kind of going through these loops, these like repetitive loops, which I know is kind of the point in parts of it. I'm trying to figure out how to talk about it without like spoiling things. Reading the rest of this book, it definitely is a bit different than Dark Matter. I don't really think that they have very much to do with each other. It has like a similar idea, I guess, but execution is a lot different. This book is told in 5 different parts, which is like book 1, book 2, book 3, you know, and so on, which I thought was kind of fun. And I also like how we get dual POVs, so we get Barry and Helena's point of view. I feel like we definitely get more of Barry. Well, I don't know. It depends on like what book you're in or like what part of the book you're in, because I feel like certain parts, like part 1, part 2, part 3, have more of one or the other POVs. Overall, though, it was just a really fun, fast-paced sci-fi book. I will say, though, this book is definitely one that you almost have to like stop and think and like ponder on to understand it fully. And even then you probably won't even fully understand it, but you can still enjoy it without fully understanding it. There's definitely times where I felt like I had to stop and like take notes and like write down things to like see where we were at and like what's already been happening. And yeah, it was just a lot, but still a good time. So now that that's over, I only have about 20 something pages left to read for the day, but I'm going to start the 7-Year Slip, and I'm probably going to read at least a solid chunk. I'm hoping to get at least 50 pages read today of this book. I have been needing to read this for literally so long, and I feel like every time I put it in any one of my videos, people comment and are like, oh my gosh, you have to read the 7-Year Slip. So I'm glad that I'm actually finally starting it. I'm trying not to have high expectations going into it because I don't want to let myself down, but I know I am going to enjoy this one. I don't know why I'm so hesitant to start this book, because even now I'm like, well, should I read something else? But no, I've been telling myself I need to read this for so long, so I'm just gonna go do it. So I'm gonna go start this book, and I'll update you guys when I'm a little bit of the way through. Good morning, my sweet friends. Well, I guess good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you. Last night, like I said, finished Recursion, and then I also started the 7-Year Slip, and I got about 24 pages in. So in all, I believe I read 110 pages, and I was only supposed to read 103, so I wasn't that far off. But today is Thursday, so today I have to read 77 pages, and so far this morning I've already read about 35 pages. I've been so annoying lately with my mood reading because I feel like I've been getting a lot of really highly rated books lately because I've been in the mood for all of the ones that I'm reading. Like I've been really listening to the mood reading part of my brain. And so I'm a little bit nervous going into this one because I'm not necessarily like in the mood for a romance right now. And I'm not necessarily like in the mood for this book specifically. So I don't want that to like hinder my judgment and my views on this book, I guess. So I don't know, like so far I'm enjoying it. It's really cute. It's really fun. It is like a little bit magical, but I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm in the mood for a romance right now. But I'm going to continue reading this because I know if I stop now, I probably won't pick it up for a while, or just pick it up whenever I am in the mood for a romance. And I don't know when that's going to be. If I do start to feel like I'm not really enjoying it as much because of the mood that I'm in, then I'll put it down. But for now, I feel like I'm still really interested in it. And I'm only 60 pages through this book, so I haven't even hit like the very interesting parts yet. So to hit my goal of 77 pages for the day, I have to read about 42 pages this morning, or I guess just today in general. So I have to stop on at least page 103 today. Thursdays are usually like my days off of my day job, but I'm still doing a lot of work with YouTube and Patreon, so it's not technically like a full day off, but I do have more free time than other days. And I am doing something very exciting soon that I'm going to be doing a really fun video for. So I have to take some time today and get prepared for that. So I'll probably finish these next 40 something pages this morning, and then later tonight I might pick it back up and read a little bit more. So far, like I said, I'm enjoying it. I do really like our main character so far. I feel like I'm going to really enjoy the love interest. I don't know how I feel about the whole like time slip thing, because I mean, like what happens if they want to live outside of their apartment? I just don't really know like how this is gonna go. So I'm a little bit skeptical, to be honest. My rating prediction for this book, I think, is going to be like a 3.75 to a 4-star. Again, I'm just trying not to get my hopes up because I feel like every single time I go into a book that's like super popular, I usually get let down. So trying to lower my expectations and be pleasantly surprised. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna pick this back up and then I'll update you guys when I have read my pages for today. Hello friends, my room is quite literally a disaster right now, so we are going to be filming in the book corner. I got to page 178 today in the 7-year slip, so I definitely read a lot past my pages for the day. I think I was only supposed to read like 77, and I believe I read 154. But a lot of that was on audiobook because I had a really busy day today, so I was listening to this like as I was doing things, so I got a really big chunk of it read. So I am now about a little bit over 50% of the way through. I don't exactly know how I'm feeling about it. So far, I like it. Like, it's a good book. It's cute. I love the characters. I love the idea of it, but I don't know if I'm loving the execution of it. Don't come at me. I don't know. I know I'm not, finished with it yet, but I just am like failing to understand how, like, when she leaves the apartment and then just like randomly comes back like weeks later, did they not like talk in between that time? Or is he just like chilling there waiting for her to come back, and then when she does, they just like pick up back where they left off? Or like, I'm just very confused as to like how that works. And like, does he not know that there's like a whole time travel thing going on? Because I don't think that she's told him. But I also just don't really understand. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, something doesn't add up here. And then I'm also kind of struggling with the whole like insta love thing. I mean, I get, like, I don't think that it's impossible to like really, really care about someone and fall for someone in a span of 48 hours, but I don't know, just like the way that this went down, it just felt very, very insta love. Like they have this whole history after being together for literally 24 hours. I like it. It's fun. It's cute, like I said, but it's definitely not my favorite. I think also because I'm like just not really in the mood for romance right now, like that is kind of hindering my enjoyment. But I don't want to put it down because I am over halfway through. I'm still sticking with my predicted rating of a 3.75 to a 4-star. Right now it's kind of leaning more towards 3.75, but I also like, I don't know, I feel like 3.75 is too low. I'll just have to see how it ends, because right now I'm just kind of meh about it. Like, it's not really standing out to me, but it's also not like a bad book. Like, I'm still like enjoying my time with it. I just feel like for being 178 pages in, not very much has happened. Like, it's kind of going really slow for me, and I'm just not like fully connecting to the story. But I don't know. I'll have to see how the last half of it goes, because I can definitely see it going in a way that I would really like. So I'm hoping that it goes that way. I don't know. I think I might be done reading for the day, but it's also only 7:30 p.m. right now, so I still have a lot of the evening to read more. I might read more of this tonight, but I also might just update you guys tomorrow. We'll see. Hello, sweet friends. Today is Friday. I didn't end up reading anything extra last night. I was just getting tired and I had a lot of like prepping and things to do for the weekend. Today is my highest reading day. I believe, I don't have my phone on me, but I believe it's about 161 pages is what I'm supposed to read today, which is how many times I picked up my phone last Friday. So far, I've read about 75 pages today of the 7-year slip, which puts me now at page 254. So I've got about 75-ish pages left of this book. To be completely honest, I don't really care about this story, and I feel so bad for saying that because I know this is so many people's like favorite book. But if I'm just being completely honest, I just don't feel like I ever really connected to their story. I feel like it was way too insta love. It's way too tell, no show. I just never really understood their connection. I love to see it, but I wish it would have been more of a build up and not so much of a we're just all of a sudden in this place that we're at, if that makes sense. And then the whole like time slip thing just isn't working for me. The way it's done isn't really working for me. I still can acknowledge the fact that this is a good book. Like, I don't think this is a bad book. I just think it's not a book for me. My rating prediction I think is going to go down to about a 3.5. But again, I still have 75 pages left, so that could turn around for me. But usually when I'm this far into a book and I have like a rating prediction, there's little that can happen that would really drastically change my rating. But again, can appreciate the fact that this is a good book. I do like her writing. I like the way she sets an atmosphere. I think she's a great author. The story just isn't my favorite. But I am going to finish it hopefully today. I mean, I have to today because I still have about 90-ish pages to read until I'm done for Friday. I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. I do have Death and Mourning House that I wanted to read in this video, and I feel like I'm still kind of in the mood for that because after this, I do feel like I need something just kind of more like fast paced and high stakes. So I don't know. It's between Death at Morning House and maybe I'll pick up some kind of like fantasy of some sort because I'm kind of in the mood for something a little bit magical, but also high stakes. So I'm thinking like some kind of fantasy romance type of thing might be a good pick for me after this. But I don't know. I'm going to finish this first and then see what I'm in the mood for. Hello, sweet friends. Okay, the last like 24 to 48 hours have been very, I don't know, my brain has not been in the right spot. So yesterday I ended up getting pretty busy and I didn't read the full 161 pages like I was supposed to. I only got to, I think, 109 pages. So I got to page, I believe, 288 in the 7-year slip, and then I finished it today. So today I'm supposed to read 96 pages, which today I have read 40 pages of this because I only had 40 pages left until I was done with it. So I already have 40 pages done, which means I still need to read about 56 pages for today, and then possibly also make up that other, 50 something pages that I didn't read yesterday. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not though. It depends on how busy I get today, but I at least need to read another 56 pages of another book today. So my final thoughts for the 7-year slip. I'm in between a 3.75 and a 4-star rating. I don't know where I'm going to end up because like I was saying, I just never really connected with their story. I didn't really see or really understand like their connection. I understood it to an extent, but it just didn't give me like that giddy feeling, you know, like I just didn't really care as much for their story because I felt like it was so instant. But I also really love the way that the author explored like the grief and the feelings of our main character like losing her aunt and just stuff with her job, and just like the way that the characters were written. I feel like they were very real and very complex, and I really enjoyed that. So I really loved her writing in this book, and again, like I said before, like I can acknowledge that this is a really good book. I just honestly didn't love the romance in it as much as I thought I was going to. They were still very cute though. I still enjoyed it. It wasn't, in my opinion, living up to the hype that it has gotten, but I can understand it, you know? Just not personally for me. But now that this is over, I need to pick my last book to read for this video, which I am in between a few. We have Death at Morning House, which was my original last pick for this video, but I also just don't really know what kind of mood I'm in right now because I also have The Prison Healer, which I've been really wanting to read lately, and it's for another book club that I'm in. So it's between The Prison Healer and Death at Morning House. I'm gonna ponder on it and then I'll update you guys when I choose which one I'm gonna read. Hello friends. It is the next day and I ran into a little problem. So I recently updated my phone, and because I updated my phone, my screen time and like phone pickups was lost. So I have 0 data now from the day that I needed to see how many times I picked up my phone. So I am just going to read as many pages as I can for the last day. But last night I did get to page 66 in Death at Morning House. So I read, I think, 10 or so pages above what I was supposed to. And so far, I'm actually really enjoying this book, which I was a little bit afraid if I was gonna like it or not because I didn't love the Truly Devious series. I actually never finished it, so I didn't know if I really liked this author's writing. I think I do. I think I'm enjoying this book, and I can definitely see it getting a little bit like mysterious. I think the thing with Maureen Johnson books is that they are actually YA versus like a lot of the YA mystery thrillers I feel like that are coming out now are very adult. So Maureen Johnson books just feel a little bit too childish sometimes, but that's like what young adult is supposed to be. So I think just sometimes it throws me off, but I feel like also reading the Truly Devious series helped me when going into this book because I kind of knew how to set my expectations. And so far with this one, I really like our main character. I really like the setting. I mean, it's kind of eerie. They're literally staying at this like abandoned mansion, so I really love the atmosphere of it. I feel like with the writing, there's just like sometimes the author almost like tries too hard to be funny, you know, and like tries too hard to be very like teenager, so it just kind of ends up being a little bit cringy, which I'm just kind of like giggling at. But the story sounds very interesting. I can't remember if I said what this book was about or not, but it follows our main character. What is her name? Marlo. So she accidentally set fire to someone's house, so she's kind of like extremely embarrassed and kind of getting made fun of, and like she's just not having the best time right now. So one of her teachers comes and like offers her this job as like a tour guide kind of at this abandoned mansion. But this abandoned mansion was abandoned because something like mysteriously kind of happened to two of the well, not like mysteriously, but like something happened to two of the family members. And now I feel like there's kind of a lot of, well, this is just what I'm getting from the book, not necessarily the synopsis, but I feel like there's kind of some suspicion as to like what was going on within the family and at that house. The bottom of the synopsis though says, Mourning House has a horrific secret that's been buried for decades, and now the person who brought her here is missing. All it takes is one clue to set off a catastrophic chain of events. One small detail, just like a spark, could take it all down if someone doesn't take Marlo down first. But yeah, I don't know. I'm having a good time with it. I'm very intrigued by it, so I'm going to just read as much of it as I possibly can today, and then I'll update you guys with how many pages I have read, I don't know, later today at some point. Hello friends. Sorry, it's like really early in the morning right now. I've been waking up like a lot earlier lately to read and just have like more time in the morning. So it's about 7 o'clock right now, and I've gotten to page 182 in Death at Mourning House, and reading this I feel like I'm kind of reminded about like my reading experience with the Truly Devious series, because I kind of feel the same way, how in this like we're already halfway and like nothing really has happened, but like I keep reading it because like I keep feeling like something's about to happen and then it doesn't. Like one of the problems that's literally in the synopsis like hasn't even happened yet, and I just feel like it's kind of late in the book for the main part of the plot to like not happen, I guess. I don't know. We have been learning a lot more about like Mourning House in the past, because this does have like not two POVs technically, but like it has two timelines, I guess I would say. So we're following Marlo in like the present time, and then we're following like some of the kids, and it's almost kind of like a third person POV back in like 1932 I think it was, and it's just following like the whole family that like originally lived in Mourning House. And so like that POV is really interesting to learn about like what was going on in the family and kind of how they functioned, and I don't know, just having that like dual timeline is fun. But again, I just don't feel like anything really interesting is happening in either timelines, but I still have half of it left to read. I don't think I'm going to finish it in this vlog. I'm predicting though this is going to be like a 3, maybe 3.5 star read. I will put my final thoughts in my Instagram post. If you're not following my Instagram, it is just the same name, Faith Reading Things, and I have it linked below as well. But yeah, I think I'm going to end the vlog here because my week is up and I've had a really busy last couple days and next couple days. Just this next like week or two that I am at my day job, I have so much to do before I leave, so I haven't really had a whole lot of time to read aside from the pages that I've had to read for this challenge, but hoping to finish this either tomorrow or sometime, I don't know, this week. Don't forget to use the link in my description to get your first month free of Skillshare. Again, thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. I have a lot of really fun reading vlogs coming up, including this one, but lots of fun content to stay tuned for. So I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah.